Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Okay guys, let's go out to California. Alright, we talked about Bill Gates' plan to track, trace, and quarantine people with the COVID-19 virus. I did several reports on them, and it turns out this is what California is actually doing. I mean, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is actually happening. I'm going to show you the clip of this guy talking about actually forcibly quarantining people. Every one of them. This is dated May the 6th. Okay? Every one of them. California begins forcibly quarantining people, separating families over COVID-19. Listen to this, people. This is actually happening. California Governor Newsom announced Tuesday he was raising up an army of contact tracers, as many as 20,000 people, to track down everyone with COVID-19 and quarantine them. The number of deaths has begun to go down in the state, but Newsom has only doubled down, announcing Monday he was training as many as 20,000 people, an army, and a workforce to begin tracking down COVID-19 cases. If it's going down, if the cases are going down, why is he doing all this? Because this was always part of the plan. Newsom announced that the Army, his word, will start with a deployment of 3,000 and grow to 20,000 mark to chase down who, what, where, and with whom COVID positive people have had connections. To what end? Newsom said the tracing component requires workforce and to identify individuals who tested positive, to ID their contacts, and maybe quarantine individuals to stop the spread of the disease. He means forcibly. Okay? Now I'm going to show you this guy talking in a minute. I'm going to go through this real fast. On Wednesday, Robert Levin confirmed that the forcible quarantines are underway. He announced a pilot program that will grow into a larger program, and we will find everyone with COVID-19, and we will isolate every one of them, and we will make sure that they stay quarantined, and we will check in with them every day. In other words, what this program means is we're going to do more of a complete job. We're going to do a more meticulous job of making it less and less possible for others in the county to run into someone with COVID-19. This is Ventura County, guys, in California. It's right outside of LA. Ventura County hardly has been overwhelmed with the virus. Out of its 846,000 people population, Ventura County has had 19 deaths. They're doing all this over 19 deaths. So you know this is a setup. Most of them occurred in the hospitals. Levin attempted to put a happy face on removing people from their homes because, after all, everybody's doing it. This is occurring in many, many other states, as well as perhaps all the states in our country. That's not true. But other states aren't doing this. There are 19 deaths in the county since the outbreak visited it upon us from Wuhan. Here's your daily COVID update. So far, only 595 cases. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you this guy talking, and we're going to get out of there. This is him right here, Robert Levin.
Patients throughout the county. And 10 of those 23 are in the hospital right now, in the ICU. And we've had now 11,000 people that we've tested in our county. We are beginning a program today, and it's a pilot program which will certainly grow into something larger and larger, and that is a community contact tracing program. We've done contact tracing all along. That a contact is a person who's been exposed to someone that we document to have the COVID infection. When we find someone who has a COVID infection, those people are immediately isolated. But we also work with them to figure out who their contacts were. Luckily, because you have been doing such a great job of cooperating and staying indoors, staying isolated, it used to be there were 10 contacts, at least, for every patient that we would find. Now, it looks like there are probably only 2 or 3 or 4 contacts, not surprisingly, because most people have been staying away from others. And that's good news. But the purpose of this program is to bring on people. We're going to start with 10 people. We may bring on up to 50 or even more as the program grows and as we see the needs for it. As we do more testing, we will find more and more people who have COVID-19. And again, we'll isolate every one of them, and we will find every one of their contacts, and we will make sure that they stay quarantined, and we'll check in with them every day. In other words, what this program means is that we're going to do a more complete job, and we're going to do a more meticulous job of making it less and less possible for others in the county to run into someone with COVID-19 infection. It's not just our county that's bringing more people on. There are going to be thousands of people hired who will be these contact investigators throughout the state. And this is occurring in many, many other states as well, perhaps all of the states in our country. We will be giving intensive training to these people, training not only for identifying and finding contacts, but also in terms of how to be sensitive about doing it. We also realize that as we find more contacts, some of the people we find are going to have trouble being isolated. For instance, if they live in a home where there's only one bathroom and there are 3 or 4 other people living there and those people don't have COVID infection, we're not going to be able to keep the person in that home. Every person who we're isolating, for instance, needs to have their own bathroom. And so we'll be moving people like this into other kinds of housing that we have available. They'll also have other needs, perhaps, food, whatever it's going to be. The county will be there to back them up and to support them.
Okay, guys, you guys catch this whole conference. It's really something you have to see, and it's frightening. And people, we need to really start paying attention to what's going on. This is not a drill. This is real.